They told you that retirement happens at 65. You grind for 40 years, maybe you get a gold watch, and then you sell off into the sunset. But my friends, here's the truth. Retirement, it's not an age. It's a cash flow number, and waiting decades to hit it until you're 65 or even 70, that's the biggest wealth-killing lie that you've been sold. Today, I'm gonna give you 6 unknown reasons that you need to retire as soon as you can. And reason number 6, it might just shake you awake. So let me start off by asking you a question. Why are you working? To pay bills, build security, leave a legacy? Let me hit you with a gut punch. Every extra year you work past freedom costs you the one thing that you can never get back, your time. You can always make more money, but you will never make more time. This isn't about money anymore, it's about your life. So reason number 1 that you need to consider to retire as soon as possible is time is your only non-renewable asset. Money can be made, lost, and made again, but time, once it's gone, it's gone. Retiring early isn't about quitting work. It's about buying back the only asset that you can't replace, your time. And if you keep trading time for money, you're compounding the biggest loss of all. Let me tell you about Carrie and Dave. Dave came to me in his late 40s, early 50s with an exciting plan to retire early in his 50s. He grinded for 4 years. We built a great plan for him, but the more he grinded, the more time he traded. And even though he had enough money to quit and walk away, he wanted to get just a little bit further ahead, a little bit more money in his account. But after 4 years, Dave called me one day and said, "Ryan, I need you to tell me about the benefits that I have inside of my financial plan because I've just been diagnosed with cancer." Dave passed away 12 months later. And the big plan, everything he had been saving for, all of the money that he had and then more, Dave lost his life before he could ever retire. And he left his beautiful wife, Carrie, behind to pick up all of the pieces in her late 40s. My friends, time is the one thing that you can't get back. If you can build a system to own and control your time, do it and do it now. Reason number 2 is compounding has a dark side to it. No one talks about this. Everyone talks about the magic of compounding inside of your investments. But here's the ugly truth. Expenses compound too. The longer that you wait, the more inflation eats your dollars. Taxes rise, health costs skyrocket, and every year you delay freedom, the cost of life, well, it goes up. And if your money is sitting in market-based accounts, the bigger your account balance gets, the more they are charging you to manage that pile of money. You have compounding costs inside of your retirement plan. If you're thinking to yourself, okay, Ryan, I get it. I get why retiring early matters, but how do I actually pull this off? Well, my friends, I've got you. We built a free guide called the How to Retire in 10 Years or Less guide. Inside of this guide, you're gonna learn the exact plan I used to walk away from a corporate career in under a decade. In fact, I did it in just over 4 years. You're gonna learn how to replace your income with predictable cash flow, and you're gonna learn why Wall Street will never get you there. You'll never be able to retire early with Wall Street, and this guide's gonna show you what to do instead. It's 100% free. Grab it now. The link is in the description, and then come back because reason number 3, it's gonna hit you harder than the first 2. Reason number 3 is work will take everything that you can give it. On their deathbed, no one is going to pronounce with their last sentence, "I wish I would have spent more time at the office. I wish I would have got that annual report in. I wish I would have got that last bonus or promotion." But that's the life you're building right now. Your job, it'll take everything from you. Your business, it will eat your time alive. Your health, your relationships, if you let it, your business, your career, wherever you're making your money, it will take every amount of your attention, every second of your time. So here's the consideration. Retire early. Take back control. You decide what matters most. Reason number 4, your income stops before you do. Here's a stat that should scare you. Most people who follow the typical retirement advice, they're gonna outlive their money by 8 to 10 years. Why? Because they waited too long to build a system that will pay them regardless of how long they live. You don't wanna run out of money at 82, you wanna live free at 42. So switch your pathway from accumulating a pile of money and trading a long time to do it to building a system that will pay you cash flow for life. Reason number 5, freedom creates optionality. When you retire early, you don't have to stop working. You can start choosing what work you do instead. Here's the thing that no one talks about. You've been given unique, God-given gifts, skills, talents, and abilities. Those abilities were given to you, not to have, but to use them. When you choose work that's meaningful for you, you get to do work that comes naturally, that comes authentically to you. And when you do that work in the service of other people, you find the greatest joy of all. In fact, the greatest wealth that you can have. Fulfillment comes from using your God-given talents in the service of other people. Figure out what you're good at, choose the work that you want to work in, and find the meaning that can come from doing meaningful meaningful work to solve real problems. Whether that's coaching, whether that's consulting, whether that's writing a book, doing things for joy, not survival, that is one of the greatest forms of wealth you can have. Optionality is an amazing tool. When you can wake up every single day and say, I can do what I want to do with my life today, you're free. Reason number 6 is waiting is the most expensive decision of your life. If you're waiting until you feel ready, let me ask you this. What's the cost of one more year? One more year of stress, one more year away from your family, one more year trading the best hours of your life for another paycheck. The price of waiting, it's not money. It's the life that you could have lived. In fact, that's the greatest cost of all, opportunity cost. No one calculates it, but every single day that you're not living free, the opportunity cost is what could have been. What adventures could I have accomplished? What meaningful memories could I have created with my family? Opportunity cost will steal your life if you let it. So here's the takeaway. Retirement, it's not an age. It's a cash flow game. When your passive income exceeds your expenses, my friends, you're free. And if you build a system that can create income that rises with inflation, then my friends, you're infinitely free. This allows you to ride the economic waves. This allows you to be free for the rest of your life. And it allows you to wake up every single day with the greatest form of wealth you can have. Optionality, your freedom, your attention, and your ability to declare freely, I can do whatever I want today. The real tool, the real purpose of money is to build and live a life that matters. My friends, we get one shot at this. I gave you early on in this video the story of Dave and Carrie, and that story could be our story. That story could be your story. I don't know how much time I have, and I definitely don't know how much time you have. But the one thing I do know is you get one shot at this thing called life. Why not go all in? Why not use money as a tool to build and live a life that matters? And you can hit your financial freedom number in as fast as 10 years or less. In fact, many people inside of my community do it in 5, 6, or 7 years. If you stop following the old plan and start building the right system. Forget things like 401ks. Forget gambling on Wall Street. Ask yourself one question. How fast can I replace my income with passive income? So now you know why retiring early matters, but here's the million-dollar question. How do you pull it off without gambling or grinding for 40 years? That's the system that most people find themselves stuck in. And the answer to that is a strategy. In fact, the strategy that is so boring that most people ignore it. And it's the same one that made me millions of dollars and allowed me to walk away from a 6-figure career in just over 4 years. Click here to watch that video now, and I'll share with you why boring beats sexy every single time. What if I asked some of the world's most successful people, the richest, the wealthiest, the most productive people, that if they had to start all over with nothing, starting from scratch, how would they retire in 10 years? I want you to consider this for just a moment. If these people could work, produce, save, and invest for just 10 years, and after 10 years they could never work for money again, and their assets had to support them for the rest of their life, how would they do it? Would you want to know the answer to that question? Well, listen, my friends, we're hosting a summit this year. It's called the Retire in 10 Years Summit. And I'm asking that exact question to some of the most successful business owners, entrepreneurs, and investors of all time. I'm asking them how they would retire in 10 years starting from nothing. If you want to hear their answers and find out how you can apply the exact same strategies that they're doing, then come to the summit. Learn the strategies for taking back control over your money and your time. Listen, my friends, we get one shot at this thing called life. One shot to own and control our time. This summit is meant to share with you the exact path, the exact strategy that you can use to retire in 10 years or less, no matter where you're starting from. Click the link below, register for the summit, and I'll see you on the inside. I'll never forget when my financial plan fell apart in 2008, I felt stuck. I read a couple of books that changed my life. In fact, the one book that gave me a playbook to become financially free in just over 4 years was Robert Allen's book called Creating Wealth. In fact, the subtitle of that book said, use Robert Allen's 7 steps to retire in just 10 years. Now, I had never even considered it possible to retire in 10 years until I saw that subtext. I opened that book, I found the playbook, and I applied it in my own life. And 4 short years later, I told my boss I quit. I walked away from the corporate world forever, a 6-figure salary left behind. Now, I didn't walk away to poverty, I walked away to freedom. In fact, I owned and controlled my time by using the exact system that Robert Allen outlined in that book. Now, fortunately for you, my friends, I've teamed up with Robert Allen to rewrite his original book, Creating Wealth. We're calling it the Passive Income Machine. This book is a playbook for the modern economy that that you can use, just like I did, to buy your life back, to become financially free, and to retire in under 10 years, no matter where you're starting. To share this book with you and the strategies that it offers, we're hosting a live summit. The summit is just a couple months away, and in this summit, we're going to be interviewing some of our favorite people about their experiences, about their pathway to financial freedom, and sharing with you the exact principles, the exact strategies that you can use to retire in 10 years or less. The summit's free, so click the link below, register for the summit, and I'll see you on the inside. My friends, you get one shot at this thing called life. Why not go all in? Why not live big? And why not become financially free in 10 years or less?